Okie dokie. Welcome back. This is Johnny the Greek's Free Real Estate. This is episode 13. This week I am joined with at item oh my god, at Adam IDP of the IDP show. My good buddy. We did DF Triple S together. If there's a ridiculous meme going around, it's one of us that retweeted it. Fellow degenerate, fellow insane person. I definitely need the disclaimer, so let me just say this real quick. So this will be a free fire zone. We are going to say some terrible shit in the next 90 minutes, like for sure with this interview. So just keep that in mind. Not safe for work. If you got kids in the room, put some headphones on them. Adam, how are you, man? Thank you for coming.
Man, thank you for having me, Johnny. This is I love this show, dude. I think it's such a good idea. It's so nice just to kind of hear people's background and just kind of get to know them as a person. And you're just an awesome interviewer, an overall funny person yourself. So big fan of the show. Thank you for having me on. It's an honor, brother.
Yeah, good to have you, man. I feel like we haven't done an actual podcast since in the season. Probably some of those IDP preview shows. I'm thinking.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, we kind of shut down to DF Triple S a little bit. It got to DFS last year, man. It was awful. And I heard that story kind of across the board that people that had been in it for a while just had awful years. People that were getting out of it that had been in it for a while. But yeah, it was just a tough year for DF Triple S. Also, with life kind of got busy. My wife was pregnant. But yeah, I've missed getting to do this, man. You're one of my favorite people to talk to, and it's just always like riding a bike, brother. It's like, no big deal, just picking right up where we left off.
Yeah, I know, man. I miss us, doing shows like that. I do not miss DFS though. Fuck DFS. Like that was shitty last year. And we got total legal sports betting in Connecticut, and it is so much easier to make money with that. Like
Exactly right,
wildly easier. Like, have you guys gotten that yet?
No, we haven't. So I have to go down to Portland, Tennessee to place any bets like that. And you're right, dude. Like it is DFS is hard as hell. Like only the top, if you're playing in tournaments and stuff, only like the top 15, 20%, that's who's getting paid out. So it's just hard, man. And everyone's using these damn optimizers and all this damn science and data and it's like it's for folks like me and you, like it's fantasy and season long fantasy is more our speed. I think that's where we kind of can shine and do our thing. But yeah, I cannot wait till we get it legal here as far as the betting and stuff going, because you're right, dude. It's just way easier.
Yeah,
maybe we'll
man.
do a show then.
Oh, dude, definitely. And maybe we should come back for like the kickers contest. That was fun. And the Bachelorette. Remember when they did that? That was great. Like, who's gonna pull their dong out? Like, you get points for that. That was beautiful.
Yeah, I'm definitely down to do that stuff again.
Awesome. So yeah, man, what have you been up to since the season? I know you guys had some off season stuff going on. What have you been getting into?
Well, we just had a baby, so a personal side, that's what's been going on at the Markham household. We've been pretty busy with that, not getting a lot of sleep, a lot of diaper changing, a lot of spitting up, But overall, it's a blessing. Don't think it's not a blessing. We are so blessed. So blessed. It's hard. It's hard as hell, though. Anyone out there that's not a parent, man, it is hard as hell. Especially early on when they can't really tell you what they want to do and they just cry a lot. But it's all the cliches that people say are true as well. Like it really is the best thing. It's what I look forward to most is seeing my kids every day when I go home and just making them laugh, stuff like that. But yeah, we've been busy with the baby. Silas is 5 now. Everyone's doing good, man.
Yeah,
the wife is still off.
You were almost clear though. He was 5. He was damn near an adult, and now you've hit reset.
I know, dude. We just got done paying for daycare and everything. Like we just finished it. He's starting public school this next year, and we decided to have another one. So very cool business decision for me. They are very expensive. Yeah, it's I think we paid like $6,000 last year in childcare for Silas. So
Oh my God.
everyone keep that in mind out there if you're thinking about it.
Yeah, wrap it up or put it in the tush instead.
For sure, that's always the best option, honestly.
Yeah, the tush. Yeah, not the first one, right? So
Yeah, correct.
that's great on the personal side. What do you
Yeah.
guys been doing on the site side? I saw you had some big interviews and stuff.
Yeah, we've had some huge guests this year. We've had Nate Tice on. We had Greg Rosenthal of around the NFL podcast. We've had Sigmund Bloom on. Um, yeah, I mean those have been huge guests we've had. We've had our usual suspects, all of our IDP friends that you've already had on the show. A lot of those guys are reoccurring guests. We've man, the content and where our podcast is, we're really locked in right now. I look forward to getting together with those dudes every week and talking football, talking IDP. And I think that shows on our pod, man. We feel like we're in a really good place right now. Creatively, we're all kind of juiced up. Josh is just such a good person to be a partner with, just because he's so good at the technical side of things and like, you know, putting the videos on YouTube and doing the thumbnails and like the stuff like that doesn't get all the glory. Like that stuff is hard as hell. Like me and Bobby are zeros when it comes to stuff like that. We're like, yeah, but Josh, you got it. We trust you, brother. But I mean, we just have no idea how to do that stuff. Like Josh is amazing, but we make a great team, man. We all have our strengths and weaknesses, and we're just trying to get rid of those weaknesses. And but yeah, the show's been great, man. We put out the IDP draft kit with the IDP guys. That's been a lot of fun. A DFF trip is also on that. Actually, he's not DFF. He's football guys. But yeah, that we've getting to work with all those guys and put out a product that's getting really good feedback. That's been a lot of cool. That's been really cool. So yeah, man, the podcast is going great. The site's got a lot of content and articles on it. And then we've put out our first product with the IDP draft kit. So we're in a good place with the pod, and we're really excited to continue to grow it and see where it ends up.
Yeah, definitely, man. You make a great point too. So that was me for the longest time. It would be like me and Sean. We would just show up. We'd talk into a microphone for 2 hours. Nate would do everything else, right? And with this thing, and with switching the monster to audio last year, I had to download Audacity. I had to download like film editing software, learn how to like edit all that crap, upload it, schedule it. Like it's a whole other ball game, and
Yeah.
it's ridiculous.
Yeah, for sure. Like anytime Josh is like, guys, can we maybe get this product to make my life easier? We're like, yes, we definitely can do that. Like we know you probably secretly resent us because you're having to do that stuff. So yeah, whatever you need, bro, just do it, get it. But yeah, we have been able to do that, a lot of that stuff lately, man. We got ourselves the roadie. That's been really cool and I think been helpful. We've upgraded like all of our video stuff, all of our mics. But yeah, Josh is the one that's pulling those strings and deciding that stuff. So we got a good thing going. I'm excited about the future for the IDP show.
Yeah, man. And that was obvious the first time I listened to you guys. Like you can't bullshit chemistry, and you can't bullshit being, actually close to each other, friendship, all that. You guys always had that. So it was just a matter of enough people hearing you and it's spreading like wildfire, and it has. So, I'm glad it's working out.
Well, thanks, man. Yeah, it's true. I mean, I've known Bobby. I've known Bobby since I was like in kindergarten. I think I met Josh in. I think I was in 5th or 6th grade. So I mean, I've literally known these dudes like almost my entire life. So I mean, they're actual friends, and we know that's a huge advantage for us. Like you can't replicate that. I mean, it's just not the same. And even doing like a StreamYard show, like there's just gonna be issues you come across, like you're going to talk over each other and stuff. Like we don't have to worry about that. And the chemistry is not fake. We're actually friends. And I've grown up with these dudes and I've known them my whole life. So yeah, it's pretty cool. It really is like just to to be able to do that, and I know how lucky I am to get to do that with my friends.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. That's good stuff. So we're gonna rewind a little bit here. Let's start with the Super Bowl. Who were you pulling for? How'd you enjoy the game? That was the last like major NFL thing besides the draft, and I guess we'll get into the draft. But tell me about the Super Bowl. How'd you like it?
It was a great game. I mean, I thought it was a pretty cool matchup. You know, I mean, I was happy to I was happy for the Rams fans. Bobby, our boy, leads us. My uncle Jeff, shout out. He's always been a big Rams fan. Um, so I was kind, I don't know, man. I wasn't really rooting for anybody. I just wanted to see a good game. You know, I am kind of partial to Cincinnati as well, though, just because they're close. Like we used to go to Cincinnati like once a year. Um,
Right, until
but I
someone
mean,
threw like fast food out the window, I think, right?
yeah. Yeah, that was garlic butter. It was we've been banned from the Garfield Hotel. So, sorry about that. To whoever that guy was. Yeah, our friend Cabell, he's decided to throw a garlic butter from the balcony straight down, and it busted all over someone's windshield, and the police and the hotel staff, they kicked us out. So, there was a loaded gun in the room. There was weed. There was a lot of stuff. Could have been way worse. So, so yeah,
Jesus.
could have been worse. So,
Yeah, Josh told that story. That's a great story.
young and
Yeah.
dumb, a lot of dumb things like that.
Oh,
You do.
dude. No doubt, no doubt. Yeah, plenty. Yeah, you're right though. Great game. I was happy for Bobby too. I've never disliked the Rams. I've always been like, a secondary fan, I guess you could say. Like
Yeah.
greatest show on turf back in the day. That was a wonderful team to watch.
Yep.
Donald got his ring. Perfectly happy with that. Stafford got his ring. So, yeah, pretty good stuff.
Yeah. I was happy. I mean, either way, it was going to go. I'd be fine. You know. I was
Yeah,
glad it wasn't. I was glad the Chiefs weren't in it. I was
r-
glad the
right.
Bucks weren't in it. You know what I mean? It was just nice to have two fresh teams.
Yeah, a neutral Super Bowl where you don't have someone in there that like you just can't stand. Yeah, I hear you. Good stuff, man. So, all right, so let's rewind even further. How did you get into football? Was this a family thing? Was this your dad? Because I know we had you and Josh on a lot like years ago on the IDP guys podcast, but I don't know if we covered this. How'd you start watching football?
Man, I've just always been a sports fan. I think I don't really remember how I got started. I guess fantasy football honestly probably got me kind of more tuned into it. My first league was like when we were in the 7th grade, I believe. We did it on NFL.com. My first pick ever was Michael Vick. Um, but yeah, that's about when it started, and I guess that's about when I really got into football, watching it. And I would go over to Josh's pretty much every Sunday, and we'd watch football, and that carried on for. I mean, it still goes on. We don't get to do it as much now because we got families and stuff. But I mean, if I'm watching football with people, it's gonna be with Josh and those same group of friends that I've had. But yeah, it was probably about that time, and then I mean the Vikings thing. It was pretty much like I've always been a guy that's I like players of teams. Like I've just always just been more of a I like LeBron, so I like the Cavs this year. Oh, he's gone to Miami. I like Miami right now. Oh, he's with the Lakers. I like I kind of follow players around and stuff. Randy Moss he got my attention
Mm,
very early on.
yeah.
So latched on to him, and then they got Adrian Peterson, and it was like, okay, well, I guess this is my team. Um, and yeah, I mean, they've been my team ever since. I'm not like some diehard weirdo or anything about it. Like, I'm not going to be all mad if my team loses. I don't even really care anymore. Honestly, they've broken my heart so many times that I don't really care. I'm more of just like, there's players that I like in the league, and I like those guys, and I root for those dudes. And I hope the Vikings do well. I would love to see a Vikings Super Bowl, but again, it's not like I'm not upset about it anymore.
Yeah, and that year when Favre was cooking for them, like if they didn't
Oh, dude.
if they weren't going to do it that year, it's not happening like anytime soon. Yeah.
That was the best year ever. That was the most fun year I've ever had as a fan. Um, man, I hate how it all turned out. Saints are dirty assholes, you know, and they deserve to rot in hell.
That was a great year though, and that's when Favre was doing his weird like bounce around to like 8 different teams thing. I saw him when he played on the Jets, and they played the Rams in New York and beat them like 42-0. The game was over by halftime. That's how bad like an ass kicking it was. We left at halftime.
Wow, dude. He was so much fun. That year was so much fun, man. With Sidney Rice, Brett Favre, Adrian Peterson. Yeah, those were the glory days, and it's just been all downhill pretty much since. The Diggs catch was really cool. That was fun. That was a fun moment. But then, like, you get plastered the next round. You're like, oh yeah, that's right. We suck ass.
Yeah, you're right. No, that was good stuff though. The Diggs catch was great, and yeah, I hear you, man. I hear you. And shit, if they ever won a Super Bowl, I don't think so. Not even like
dude.
With Tarkenton back in the day.
Nope.
They
got
there.
Made 3. I think they made 3 of them, but they've never won them. So
right.
Still looking for it. They got a good squad this year. You know, I don't think they're gonna make a deep run in the playoffs, but I think the new coach, that's obviously going to help. They needed some new blood in there. So I think the offense, I think you can expect a big year from Kirk and the offense. But yeah, I mean, the defense hasn't really gotten better. I guess we got Zadarius Smith. That's kind of nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, still, they're just kind of like, you know, they're an above average team. But what's that really going to do for you?
Yeah, not much these days, because I mean, you know, if you're not the Bucks or the Rams, I wouldn't even say the Packers this year in the NFC. You don't stand a chance against whatever's coming out of the AFC this year. That's for sure.
No.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess that covers Outlook too. Let's flap around a little bit. We love flapping. So what do you do for a living when you're not making podcasts and doing stuff for the IDP show?
I work at a credit union in Bowling Green. I've been there for like 15 years. I've done a lot of things. I started off in records, just kind of like bookkeeping and stuff, and then I would do the mail run. That was a lot of fun. I enjoyed that. I would hook up my iPod to the cigarette lighter and play it out through the one of the radio stations. I don't know. A lot of people are like, "What is he talking about?" All the anyone under 20.
Yeah, you used to have to do that. It was like, you'd tune the station on the iPod and on the car, match them up. That's the only way you could do it. Yeah,
it was sick. It was really sick. But yeah, I enjoyed that. I would get to run around and pick up the mail and drop off the mail. Then I was a teller for a little bit. Then I don't know. I started doing loans, I guess, after college, and did loans for a while. Did auto loans and revolving credit loans, and now I'm just in charge of the card portfolio. I run the debit and credit card portfolio, and I'm in charge of growing it. And it's exhilarating. I mean, I know everyone's on the edge of their seats right now, and yes, it is. I have to pinch myself every morning, and it's my dream, it's my passion, and it feeds my soul.
It feeds your family, I'm betting.
That's the main thing. It feeds the family. All about that money, baby.
Well, work to live, not live to work, right? So
it's a good spot, man. I've been there for 15 years. I work with good people. It's a good place. I mean, it's we help people out. I mean, we do charge interest, but for the most part, I mean, we're do your research on credit unions. They're much better than banks, and they're more about their communities, and they're more about their members, and that's I've got a good job. I've got a good gig. Very happy with all that stuff. But I went to school for financial planning, so working in the business industry, financial industry, that's always been something I kind of figured I'd do, and I'm doing it. I'm probably going to continue to do it unless the pod just gets huge, which I think it might. I think it really might.
Well, everyone on fantasy Twitter is going to eventually be a professional. right? I mean,
I know that's not good for me. That's more competition out there. I need to do some digging and dig up some dirt and play a little dirty.
oh, you gotta rise and grind more, I think.
I do. I need to tweet more in general. That's really the well, and kiss ass. I don't kiss enough ass. I mean, I do that in the day job, right, Johnny? Like we do that like we have actual jobs where we do that shit. Like I'm not doing that in fantasy Twitter. And so that's like we don't get the love out there that a lot of these accounts do, just because like I'm just not doing that. I'm not going to do that, you know? If you like my stuff, rock with me and hopefully support me. But if I've got to be the one to like reach out and like kiss your ass first for you to like acknowledge me, like, no, bro, I'm good. Like, I'm good. I'm good. I didn't get in this like for y'all. Like, I don't even know who any of these people were. You know what I mean? Fantasy Twitter and like the fantasy community. Like, I got into this because like I know like who Sigmund Bloom is, who like Evan Silva is, like folks like that. Like, so all the politicking and stuff that goes on in fantasy Twitter, man, it's never going to be for us.
Yes, this is true, and we will absolutely get more into that in a little bit. We got a whole hot water section coming up. You're gonna love it. It's perfect
just
for
a little
you.
taste.
Yeah,
just a little taste for y'all. Stick around.
That's it. That's it. So okay, so family wise, you got the 2 kids now. Is the newborn, is that another boy?
Another boy. Yeah, we got it's all boys in the house. Pray for my wife. She's even the Boston Terrier. It's a little dude. So yeah, a lot of farting, a lot of grunting and snoring, and that's what's going on in the house right now, man. A lot of just bro time. It's great.
That sounds awesome.
I'm a hashtag boy dad.
That's good stuff, man. And okay, and then so you mentioned like 07-ish or I don't know, maybe earlier. Maybe it wasn't 07, 7th grade. That's what it was. You got into fantasy. How'd that start? Were your dudes just into it and they like said, hey, try this out, or how'd you get into that?
Pretty much, I think Josh is the one that had the idea and talked me into it, and yeah, just immediately hooked. I've always been a big stat guy. I've always loved looking at numbers and stuff like that. So I mean, it was also clearly I do the finance thing. So I mean, it's right at my alley, fantasy sports and gambling and all that stuff that that we do. So yeah, it was no big deal. It was just putting it in front of me, and then yeah, rest is history.
Nice. Did you guys go all the way IDP right away, or how quick was that?
No, so we didn't go IDP probably until so we've been doing a fantasy playoffs league for like the last 10 years. And that's really where we first got into IDP. We added individual defensive players. It was like we had like 5 IDPs. And there was only it was like a 4 to 6 team league, of course. So I mean, it's not like it was that deep, but you were, it was a nice little intro into it. You got to draft all the studs and kind of got to follow along, and it was fun, man. Just that was, I guess I don't remember the year, but anyway, it doesn't matter. Same kind of similar thing. Started playing that. Josh found this RSO league that he wanted to try out. That was full IDP, like start 11 on offense, start 11 on defense. And I was hesitant. I was like, I don't know if I have time for this. I don't know if I want to do this. Also, I think a bit of it was just me, like, I was young and like, it wasn't my idea. You know how you can be like a little bit of an asshole when you're young and like, I know everything, if I don't know about it, it's dumb. So there's probably a little bit of that, but same thing. I mean, I think I was like, I'll do it for a year, but I don't know if I'm going to stick around. Well, I did it for a year. I was like, oh, this is amazing. Why haven't I been doing this the whole time? Yeah. And then that was probably 7 years ago. And then, yeah, I mean, since then I've added shit, probably 20 leagues. And also it's like my offense only leagues, those are boring as hell, dude. Mm-hmm. I know you feel that same way. Like that is just, that is so boring.
Yep. The weirder and more fucked up, the better. all IDP, salary cap, RSO, the all 22 that just started. I have no offense only leagues. That does not exist for me.
Yep, same thing. I mean, I'll have some of those redraft leagues, those home leagues that I've done forever that I can never quit, of course. But for the most part, yeah, I will never join another just offense only football league. No, thank you.
Yeah, I hear you, man. That shit gets boring. Who are some of your favorite like early IDPs from back in the day, or I don't know when you started?
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, obviously, like guys like Keekly, he's up there. Bobby Wagner, of course. Let's see. I guess like JJ Watt's probably a big one. Um, your usuals, those type fellas. I'm trying to think of some. I mean, Buda Baker's one of my favorite players. That's someone that I was all over right out of the draft. Obviously, I'm a big Fred Warner fan.
Mm.
But those are more recent guys. Again, we've only been doing it for like seven years, so I mean, you're not going to hear me bring out a bunch of like Derek Brooks or London Fletchers or Brian Urlacher. I guess we caught the tail end of his career, maybe.
Yeah,
Maybe not. I don't remember. But yeah, I mean, I'm still more geared towards the newer guys, just because we don't have we haven't been doing it for that long compared to like guys like you, guys like Woolert. I think y'all like Woolert and you probably started what in like 2007 or something, 2008.
yeah, 4.
Yeah, Jesus. So again, we were like 2016. So not as many players to pull from.
Yeah, it's a different time too. Like this is definitely a better time. Like more strategies are viable. Like back in the day, it was like you had the good linebackers or you didn't, but they're also like a shitload more. So everyone could load up on them. So
Yeah,
yeah,
true, man. It's a totally different game now. You're right. And I think it's better. I think there's just more people that are good at it, right? There's more information out there. There's so many good resources. People are getting good at it. Like it's back in the day, it was probably a lot easier to win a league than it is now. Just people are more locked in general and just have a better understanding of what they're doing.
oh yeah, definitely, dude, definitely. So that kind of leads into this. So where'd you guys get the idea? I mean, I think I've heard this story. It started with the RSO podcast, and then you guys went to the IDP podcast. But where did even the RSO podcast idea come from for you guys to get on this road to the IDP show and the site and all the stuff you've been doing?
Yeah. So the XFFL, that's the league that you're referencing. That's our RSO league. That started with just Bobby and Josh. I don't really remember what made them start it. Josh has always been into stuff like that. The guy was like a dodgeball president, super into any type of tech, a great writer. Always into just kind of these off the wall things. Uh, uh, Started. I think he was he rapped for a little bit in high school. Josh did. People may not know that. But always willing to do weird things or try weird things or kind of off the wall things. That's Josh. So, they just got the idea this was a league that we loved. Like we were all like crazy about it. It was, again, we were on fire for IDP. And I don't know, I'm sure he got the idea from, some other fantasy podcast. I think that's how the Ballers started out, honestly. I think it's kind of the similar storyline as those guys. I think they maybe had a podcast about their league and that just kind of grew into something else. You start doing the podcast about your league and you're like, damn, this is really good. This is a lot of fun. Like your league mates are eating it up. But you're like, we only have like 15 listeners. Like,
Yep.
we're spending a lot of time on this thing. And so, yeah, it was Josh and Bobby doing it for a while. I joined and probably did like 6 or 7 episodes with them. And then I was just like, dude, do y'all want to just try and do a fantasy football podcast? Like, let's just try it. I mean, we obviously all know what we're doing. Like we're good at this. Like our league mates are into it and they can't get enough of it. Like, let's just try it. and we tried it, and it was immediately, well received. I think uh, Tom Kislingberry gave us like a nice little retweet to start out. You gave us great support to start out. And it just, from there on, like people were very supportive. And yeah, it was well received, and that's just kind of how it all started. It just took off, and we've tried to be nice and supportive to people that that we like and we work with, and I think that's been that's been a nice thing too, is just having like a circle of dudes that you trust and you like, and then have your back, and we've kind of found our circle. um, and yeah, we're in a good spot with everything.
Yeah, definitely, man. It's taken off like a freaking rocket ship, that's for sure. Like, I don't know what you guys are doing for numbers now, but I remember talking to Josh about this last year, and you guys were crushing it during the season, even during like the downslope when people start to tune out. You guys were still doing pretty good. So, like, that's good stuff, man. A lot of these things start and then they peter out and it's over before you know it. Like, it's coming. Every year you're going to get joined, August
Yeah.
2022, tweeted 6 times, left forever. Like, it's coming.
I know we're trying to. We don't want that to happen. I don't think it will happen, man. And based on just the growth, like it's just still going up right now. Like we're not seeing it go down yet. We just hit our biggest peak like a few months ago, like right around draft time, like our biggest peak ever in the off season. So that's all, that stuff's encouraging, and all of it makes us hungry and want to do more and want to continue to just make this show cooler. Like we're always just thinking of things to do, like even like little things, like we've added music from like local artists and like even bigger artists, just little bitty things just to bring us in from breaks and ads, and we're just constantly trying to think of ways to do things better. And I think that's the mindset you have to have if you're gonna do anything. You should be thinking about the product you're putting out and how to make it the best it can be. And we're all creative minds, man. That's we all take pride in our work. Like we all want to put good stuff out there. That's all we're trying to do, and we want to make people laugh, dude. That's the most important thing to us. We just want to make you laugh. Maybe forget about how stressful and shitty life can be, and just talk football and have fun. That's our thing, dude. That's it.
Yeah, no, you guys do a great job at it. It's like a happy podcast. It really is. Like, you really can't be in a bad mood listening to it. You guys are super entertaining. It is not boring at all. I mean, how many of these friggin' things have you listened to that like you just want to claw your eyes out 5 minutes in? You know what I mean? Like,
There's a lot of them, dude.
oh
Yeah.
my god, especially around these parts. Like, you guys have a really like informative and entertaining. That's super hard to find.
Well, thank you, man. We learned a lot from you guys, and like what you guys did in the show you put out there too, and just being around folks like yourself, that rubs off on us, and we're just lucky that we've made some of the connections we have, and yeah, we don't take that stuff for granted. But yeah, IDP. It's in a great spot. There's so many talented people out there doing great work, and we're happy to be a part of it, man, and be thought of, kind of in the same breath as some of these guys we've looked up to for so long and stuff. But yeah, it's a good community. We're glad to be part of it.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. So I'm sure you got a million of these, but who are you personally? Like, who are some of the sleepers you've been going to this year? Just to kind of change gears a little bit. Like, I know we got a million best balls going on and stuff. Who are some of your favorite guys to get like late or as a sleeper this year so far, IDP
Oh
wise?
man, let me pull up some of my drafts so I can give us some better answers. We've done a shit ton of these best balls this year, and I
Yeah,
have a lot of guys that I'm gravitating towards. Let me
th-
pull it
there
up
are
here.
there's some good ones. There are definitely some good ones.
Man, it's so deep. There's so many good ones late, dude. It's like every year. If you do the work and you put the time in, you're gonna be able to uncover some of these gems. Um, all right, so some of my favorite guys late. I love Justin Reed this year. He's someone that he's going probably like safety 20 to 30 range, I'd say. And I just think he has massive upside. I mean, that's really what I'm looking for. When it comes late, like people will scoff at anytime you go out on a limb for one of these guys that's late, like they'll scoff at it. But it's like, dude, this is a late round pick. Like I'm not having to spend up to get this guy. Like Justin Reed, I got him, and this is an IDP only draft. I got him in the 10th round in one of the ones I've done recently. Brandon Jones is another guy that I really like this year. Put up great sack numbers out of the safety position last year. He's seemingly going to have that other safety role opposite of Javon Holland. I think he was a former 3rd-round pick, but he's someone that can be had late, and especially like in your like non-sharp leagues, like he's probably going to be out there on waivers. People just aren't. These are leagues that I'm in with like a bunch of freaks like you and Kyle and Joey. Like they're, you know what I mean? Like, so even like these, you gotta really reach on some of these people. But I'd say in most of the leagues that your casuals are in, like these guys are going to be available really late.
Oh yeah, no one even knows what team he plays for. If you talk to normal people, yeah.
Brandon Jones, that's like the most average sounding name. No one has any idea that guy even plays football. I think you're talking about like an accountant or something. Javon Hargrave, another guy in sleeper that I've been a big. So like in sleeper, it's nice because defensive tackles, just no one cares. But they're still really valuable, especially in best ball. Like Javon Hargrave, he's as far as like defensive tackles go that get sacks, like he's gonna be one of the better ones out there. He was a monster to start the season last year, and they've done nothing but really beef up that line around him. He's someone that always is late. Chris Wormley, now with Stephon Tuitt going.
Yeah.
He's someone that I like as far as defensive tackles go. Randy Gregory, someone you can still get a pretty good value on. People just kind of forget about him.
Right. I mean, okay, he switched teams, but he had a great season last year, and I feel like he's going to play a lot more in Denver than he did in Dallas. He did not play a ton in Dallas. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they paid him handsomely. Like, they gave him like 4 years, $60 million or something like that. Speaking of, do you have a take on who you think is going to replace Randy Gregory there in Dallas? Is it going to be Sam Williams? Is it going to be Dorrance Armstrong? Who do you see filling that void?
So the depth charts I've looked at say Armstrong. I don't know. I am not a film guy. I will tell you after week 1.
I think people are sleeping on Armstrong a little bit, though, man. I do. Like, he could be someone that's nice. And
if that's right, if that's a full, almost full-time defensive end role right there, like no one is taking him. Yeah, that would be sweet. Dude.
Yeah, he's probably going undrafted, honestly. Let me pull up some other ones. Those are some of the ones I've done recently. I've got another one here that I'm actually in the middle of. And this one I've taken guys like Josie Jewell. I took Josie Jewell in the 16th round of the IDP only best ball. I'd like Josie Jewell probably to win that job. I think, if you look at last year's stats, I mean, he was the guy getting all the snaps next to AJ Johnson before he got injured, and everything. All the beats this year have been saying pretty much the same stuff. Josie Jewell is going to be the one. We like him the most. It's between Jonas Gray and Singleton for that second spot. Don't they have someone else there? I'm blanking.
Yeah,
Baron Browning, but apparently he's switching to edge.
Jonathan Cooper too, but he's an outside guy, I believe.
But either way, I think it's Josie Jewell, and he's dirt cheap.
Yep.
Also, I don't mind Uchenna Nwosu. I think he's a fine option. He should have the best year of his career. He had some really high ceiling games last year. And it should be plenty of opportunity there in Seattle. David Long, another guy I really like that you can always get like linebacker 30 to 35.
Yeah, everyone seems to kind of forget how that played out last year, and I'm not super convinced that Zach Cunningham is like the guy to own there. No, just because he's dog shit. So there's that.
He's been bad. He's been bad for a long time.
Right.
He has been efficient as a tackler, but again, we don't, we can't put much stock into that as far as like how good a player is. But yeah, David Long, man, like he averaged like almost 14 a game last year in the 10 games he played, but he was just super solid week to week. And if you look at like a bunch of like the smart people that watch football, like the film guys, like the Nate Tice's and the Brett Coleman's and people like that, they all love David Long. So whenever I see stuff like that, I always follow that away. Like, oh, this guy's actually good. People actually like watching this guy play. They belong. Always a good value. Matt Milano. I mean, I've been saying this for I think like 5 years.
Yeah, well,
Uh,
it's still true. It's everyone goes Edmonds, and Milano is just as good. You can get him, way later, and they play the same
yep,
snaps every week. It's wild.
yep. It's about. I think it's as closest as it's ever been, as far as, or at least in the last like 3 years. People are finally like sick of Tremaine Edmonds. Like we
Yep.
know what this guy is. He's 110 to 120 tackles, and that's it. There's no other extra stats for that dude. Maybe he'll give you one sack. Maybe he lucks into a pick. But that dude is just average for. I mean, he's a linebacker 3 for IDP. That's all he's been. Now maybe that can change. Maybe he needs a fresh start, which he's probably going to get. But still, Matt Milano, just forever a value. Also interested in guys like AJ Johnson who haven't signed yet. I feel like he is going to sign somewhere. It could be like a Devondre Campbell type situation,
Yep.
where he
Schobert
walks in
too.
and
So I know Schobert hasn't
Schobert as
landed,
well.
but even if he doesn't now during the season, who are they going to call? Are they calling the ghost of Wesley Woodyard, or are they going to call Schobert that's
Exactly.
barely removed from the game? Yeah, so I'm with
Yeah.
you on that. Those are good moves. Even if it doesn't pan out right away, it probably will.
And I know I'm forgetting some people. I'm planning on putting out a little something, and I may even put this in like podcast form and put in our feed. But I am wanting to put out like people that I'm targeting a lot in the drafts I've been doing. So I may put out like a my guys type of something at some point.
Yeah, that's a good call, man. And who cares? Even if we're wrong on this stuff, you can adjust super quick in the first couple weeks, and whatever. You took a shot, you missed, move on. It's fine.
Exactly right. None of these guys are expensive at all. When we talk about these breakouts and sleepers, like literally, like, I don't think I named anyone that's being drafted before like round 9, and that's an IDP only.
Right.
So I mean, yeah, you shouldn't sweat or get hung up on these misses if they do, just because, like, again, that's not, the cost isn't a lot. So you got to keep that stuff in mind. People out here that bash that stuff, man, they are not drafting. Like, that is clear to me as anything, that a lot of these people that want to tell you like, oh, your breakout's dumb. Those people don't even know what round or where they're being drafted at. They're just talking, just looking at some stats.
Yep, a lot of that going on. Hey, so how about this? So if you had a Mount Rushmore, you get 4 guys all time, IDP forever. Who would you put on that Mount Rushmore for your IDP grades?
Oh man, all time forever. I've heard a lot of these, and everyone, it's usually the usual suspects. I'll try and make it a little different, little more current. We're gonna put Buda Baker on there.
Ooh,
We're gonna put, and these are just like my dudes, guys that I love. We're gonna put Fred Warner on there because, again, Fred Warner, and I just talked about this with the getting defensive guys. I'm not going to be as high on Fred Warner in redraft. I think I have him in the IDP draft kit. I have him as linebacker 12. But in Dynasty, I love Fred Warner, man. I mean, he's 25, 26 still, but he's entering in that, like, he's actually good, right? He's actually good. Like, he's a really good linebacker.
right.
So to me, he's like going to be like a Eric Kendricks, Levante David, like Bobby Wagner type of guy that's gonna he's gonna be there. You don't have to worry about, like, is this guy gonna lose his job, or like, is he gonna be like Jalen Smith or Zach Cunningham or whatever like that? Like, no, this guy's confirmed good. Like, we've seen it over and over and over again. One of the best coverage linebackers in the league. So with all that stuff, I think that bumps up Fred Warner in Dynasty. But anyway, little
Yeah,
little
yeah,
tangent, little Fred Warner tangent.
right. You're paying for stability, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's why everyone wants Roquan because it's like the ultimate stability.
Exactly. Um, okay, and then so let's see, we got two more to put on here. Let's put. This is tough. Let's put. Let's put Danielle Hunter. I know that
Ooh,
the injuries have been not what we want, but this guy still has a long career ahead of him. Um, the he's dominant, dude. I mean, he's one of the best pass rushers in the league. You can actually get a dip on him now in
yeah, and
in
he
uh, in
he was off
drafts.
to a tear. He was off to an absolute tear last season too before he got dinged up. So I'm with you. Yeah, if you can get the dip, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, you're injury prone until you're not, right? Like, I mean, if he puts together a healthy season, suddenly no one remembers that stuff anymore about the health concerns.
Yep, yep. I stayed away from Keenan Allen for like 2 seasons, and how dumb does
Yep.
that look right now?
A lot of people did that, dude. I remember the same thing. He's the perfect example of that. Yeah, the guy can't stay healthy. It's like let's just wait. Let's just give him some time. He's just maybe been unlucky. How about that? Maybe can we have that as an option? And then the last linebacker. Let's see. Can I do that? Can I? Yeah,
Yeah,
I can do
yeah.
that. Or I can
It's
do. I guess.
it's
Do you want me to do
it's
a defensive tackle or whatever?
yeah, it's your Mount Rushmore, whoever you want to put up there.
All right, I'm gonna add Luke Kuechly just because he's such a legend, man. I think he was a part of my first IDP championship, so I just got to give him a little bit of a nod. But yeah, I mean Luke Kuechly, he's probably been on every single one of these Mount Rushmores.
Yep, he has.
Him or Bobby Wagner, Aaron Donald, or
Yeah, lot of Donalds, a lot of JJ Watts, a lot of Keekleys, some Patrick Willises too. Yeah, those are the names that come up over and over for good reason. Yeah.
yeah. Those are probably some of my favorite players. So that's really what I'm leaning. It's not really just about greatness. It's about who are guys that get your boy hyped up. That would be it. That would be it.
Yeah, strong drip factor.
Exactly. That's always important.
Absolutely. All right, let's get into the stupid early predictions. One of my favorite things here. So if you had to guess the best inside linebacker this year, who do you think is going to come out number one at the end of the season?
Hmm. Mm. I think the popular answer is what? Probably Roquan.
Yes, that
Um,
is. You could say number two if you want. That's fine. I had to go twos with Jace the last episode because we had all the same answers on everything, just like everyone else has. It's yeah.
Two, I'll probably go Bobby Wagner just because I think the guy
Ooh,
is going to have like potentially 180 tackles. Like we've seen how productive that role's been for like Jags. So now you put Bobby Wagner into it. Um, yeah, I think it's going to be good things for him.
yeah. No argument there. He's going stupid late too. I mean, because I know dynasty wise, that's a lot of what we play, and a lot of his years are behind him. But I don't know. He's gonna have a great year for sure. I'm with you.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like he should be. I mean, I think the general order for these, it's like probably Micah Parsons, Roquan Smith, Darius Leonard, Devin White. I mean, in my opinion, it's probably it probably should be Micah Parsons, Roquan Smith, and then you go into Bobby Wagner for redraft. For redraft, of course, just because I mean Darius Leonard has the stuff with the health, and he seems to miss like a handful of games every single year. Um, Bobby Wagner does not do that. Um, and then Devin White, like if he's
It's
not
all
getting the
it's
sacks, he's
yeah,
below
right.
average.
Exactly. It's sack and splash play dependent for him. Yeah.
Yep. So I mean, I'd rather have someone like Bobby Wagner, I think, than those two. So I'm really high on him for redraft.
Nice. I love that. I think that's like only the second time he's been mentioned for that. So that's good stuff. How about pass rush linebacker? And we'll say two because we know Watt is one, even though he's made of glass. Who is two?
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I mean, two. I think it's either Nick Bosa or Miles Garrett, but we'll go with the guy that
We'll call those
I
guys. DEs. We're gonna call them DEs. So like your
Okay.
Barrett's of the world, Khalil
Oh,
Macks of the world. Yeah, those guys.
okay. Ooh, man. I love Khalil Mack this year. Um, he's someone that's also just being those vets, like those vets in redraft and the best ball leagues I've been doing, man. People just, I don't know what it is. They just let him slide. Like I've gotten so much Khalil Mack, so much Chandler Jones, um, Demarcus Lawrence, another guy, another vet that slides. Um, outside linebacker, let's say Rashawn Gary.
Ooh, that's a great answer. Yeah, him and like Harold Landry were very quietly excellent last year. Yeah.
Or does Jalen Phillips count?
Oh God. See, this is where it gets stupid because this was an easy answer for everyone before MFL went and fucked everything up like a month ago. So now it's like, well, I don't know. Is this guy this? Is this guy that? I don't know. I mean, the Dolphins are what, like a technically a 3-4. So
I think so. Yeah, they
I,
were.
I don't know.
But
No one actually is those things anymore, so it's fucking dumb. But
yeah,
you
just
can be
edge,
whatever you
just
want.
edge.
Yeah, yeah. That's all we
Well,
need
he's
is
another
edge.
guy. He's another guy that I think is kind of like a hot take for me that I think could really surprise and like maybe ascend to another level. So maybe he's like a dark horse candidate for me. But I mean, I know it's obviously unlikely. I think the dude had like 8.5 sacks last year, but again, the playing time's going to be way up. The offseason hype is amazing. Um, profile is chef's kiss. He's a good player.
Yeah, we saw flashes of that last year on
Exactly.
not a ton of snaps. So yeah, I'm with you on that.
Yeah, huge ceiling. I mean, anytime a guy touches like 40 points in a game for your fantasy teams, it's like you always follow that stuff where you're like, oh, okay, this guy can get to another level that not a lot of people can get to. Um, that should tell you something about that player.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. How about defensive end? So this is like the Garrett's, the Bosas.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna go with Miles Garrett on this one. I just feel like he still can take it up another level. Um, he's awesome, dude. I mean, but again, like it's one of those deals, like with a lot of those guys, like Nick Bosa as well. Like those guys started out their careers like so good, and they were immediately like awesome. Double digit sack seasons like out the gate. Like you almost just forget like those guys aren't done developing yet, and they can still get to a whole nother level. They should get to a whole nother level. So I think Miles Garrett is about to really enter the prime of his career. I mean, that's what he's on the doorstep of. So that'd be my pick. With Nick Bosa probably second.
Yeah, no doubt. Yep, those are the answers for sure. And he's got to start training with knives, like probably the defensive tackle one. Who you got at defensive tackle one?
Yeah, I mean Aaron Donald, of course, but we'll pivot. We'll say Cameron Hayward just because of the value he is in drafts. I mean, he basically is Aaron Donald. If you look at the logs,
Yeah.
I
Yep.
mean, beautiful games, just consistent throughout the entire year. Um, like tackle numbers are great. So yeah, I mean Cameron Hayward just because like you don't have to spend a first round pick to get him, right? You can get basically Aaron Donald production in the 5th or 6th round for whatever reason. Um, but Cameron Hayward, he's a guy that realistically probably should be going like in the 2nd or 3rd round. Truly, if he's gonna put up another season like he did last year, I mean he's a cheat code, like right, like Aaron Donald is.
It's true, man. They were in most of the formats I had. I looked at those guys, and they were only a few points apart at the end of the year. And Hayward did it more consistently, whereas Donald did it with more like week winning games. But I mean, pick your poison, right? What do you want
Yep,
more? And you got to pay a lot less to get it with Hayward. So yeah,
exactly
that's a
right.
thing of beauty. Yep. How about safety? This is the one that no one can agree on.
So I imagine Derwin James is the popular answer here. I'm gonna call a large Jamal Adams bounce back year. I think that the key with him, right, is that we just need 16, 17 games. Um, maybe not even that for Jamal Adams. Maybe like 15 games for Jamal Adams is good enough. Just because he is going to probably get those big plays, the sacks, and stuff like that. And we know he's going to get a ton of tackles, especially now with kind of how that defense is set up. So I'd say Jamal Adams. I like him for a bounce back. Um,
Yeah,
I don't
he's
know though. I mean,
going.
Jordan
He's
Poyer.
Yeah, he's going late too. Adams, this is the cheapest I've ever seen him this year. It's
Yeah,
wild.
he's going like what, like safety. Like I've got him like in one of those drafts. I got him. I swear, like safety 10 or 11, man.
Yep.
Like, which is just crazy to me. He should be. I mean, he should still be like the second or third safety off the board.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it
Maybe
is
not
a little.
dynasty.
Yeah, yeah. Redraft,
We
sure.
got to
Yeah,
clarify.
absolutely.
In
Yeah.
dynasty, man, I'm not. I'm over spending any high capital on a defensive back. I will never. I shouldn't say never, but I don't think I'm going to do that again. I'd rather hit another position. I'd rather hit offense instead of having to spend a high, pick on a defensive back. Um, just not doing it, man. It doesn't feel like a smart pick.
Yeah, I'm with you. Positions of scarcity instead. Yeah, absolutely. Yep. Okay, how about corner? This is the tough one. I mean, we've got the usual suspects, but who do you think wins it?
It's hard not to say Kenny Moore, just because
Hmm.
he is so freaking good. It's probably going to be one of those slot corners, though, right? I mean, that seems to be where most of the elite IDP production is these days. I mean, Jalen Ramsey's a good candidate for it. He's playing in the slot now, that star role. Um, someone like maybe like a DJ Reed. I don't think a lot of people are like hip to yet. He's someone you can get late in drafts, but he's going to see a ton of opportunity, and he was really productive already in Seattle. Maybe like a Surtain. Maybe he takes like another step, like an AJ Terrell step in year two. Um,
Yeah, look at that division for Certain too. That's the thing. Like
mm-hmm.
that, it was pass happy. Now it's like off the rails
Oh
pass
God.
happy. It's wild. Good weather too. That does help. People
Yep.
think I'm fucking nuts, but it Buffalo, New England last year. How many passes were they completing?
Exactly, dude. I mean, in a startup I just did, that was the reason why I leaned Herbert over. I had the 101, which I've hated. Like, there's no worse pick than the 101 in the Superflex. Like the best is like the 103, where you don't have to make the decision. You just take whoever falls. But I went Herbert 101 just because like Mahomes lost all those weapons. He's in Kansas City where he gets cold. And
Is
then
is his brother's a piece of shit?
his brother can't stop TikTok, and his wife. We all know about her. She's a demon. Um, she's a bad person. That's a bad family. Patrick, we are praying for you, bro. You seem like a good dude, and we know that inside you are dead. Though we know this.
Oh
And then
yeah,
Josh
that's
Allen, same thing, man. I mean, it's like the cold weather stuff, like you mentioned. Like, I don't know. I know Herbert's going to be slinging it. I know that that offense is going to be solid for quite a while. But yeah, kind of similar thoughts to what you're saying there.
yeah, definitely. I'm with you. And yeah, I mean, corner, the safe move is unless they're going to cost you an arm and a leg, it's like Kenny Moore, Kendall Fuller, AJ Terrell, Humphrey, Peters, those
Exactly.
guys. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'll probably take the cop out and say Kenny Moore. I love me some Kenny. I've got him in a lot of places, and he's still a good value, man. He's still like you can still get this guy like his defensive back, 20 to 25 range. I mean, and to me, I don't care that he's a cornerback. Like the dude is just a playmaker, gets sacks, gets interceptions, like just gets dirty. And that defense just lost Kari Willis, a guy that likes doing stuff like that. And Darius Leonard's always banged up, and Kenny Moore, man, he's the leader of the team. He's gonna be good for as long as he's there.
Yep. No doubt. I'm with you there. How about Super Bowl winner this year? Who goes? Who wins?
All right, so it feels like it's the Bills' year.
Hmm.
Um, I think they're the likely candidate out of the AFC. NFC, I mean, I feel like the Rams are still in a great position to run it back. Um, Tampa Bay Tom, you never count him out. Um, the Packers, they're always candidates to go far. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
without
just not
Devontae, they're going to be such a different offense, right? It's going to be like a way
a lot of
more
check
running.
downs.
Yeah, and
A lot
check
of check
downs
downs. Aaron
and yeah,
Jones, AJ
right.
Dillon pounding the rock. Hopefully,
Yep. Yep.
maybe like a team that surprised. I mean, the 49ers. The team that was that made a deep run themselves. Like they could easily with Trey Lance. There's a lot of unknown, right? Like Trey Lance could come in and light the league on fire, which I'm kind of expecting him to do. If that happens, I mean that team goes up another notch. Um, they're well coached. They have playmakers on both sides of the ball. I mean, they were just there, right? So I mean,
Yeah.
that's like another team that people are probably sleeping on because Trey Lance. I mean, they're gonna that offense, dude. I mean, you know, bringing in Davis Price, you have Elijah Mitchell, you have Debo Samuel. Like those dudes can run the ball. Trey Lance can freaking run. And they have a genius at calling running plays, and calling the offense. Like there's a lot of potential for that team to just be really hard to deal with. But yeah, I mean, if I had to guess, I'd say Bills Rams, and
Mm,
I would lean Bills. I think the Bills have done enough. I think adding Von Miller, getting your second year of Rousseau, um, Gabriel Davis stepping into a larger role. You got they just
right.
drafted James Cook.
Yeah, even McKenzie was really solid when he had a chance last year. They replaced
Yep.
Levi Wallace in the draft.
Yep.
Dane Jackson was decent when he got a shot. Like, yeah, they're ready to rock and roll. I think I'm with you.
Yeah, Jameson Crowder's there. I mean, he's not much, but again, the offense is just really solid. You expect Josh Allen to continue to ascend. They're in a great spot, man. But I mean, the Von Miller signing that's just beautiful for them, just because they have those young guys, and Rousseau and Carlos Basham and Ed Oliver too, man. I think he's someone that should have been on that sleeper list. He's someone that could really break out. I think this is his fourth year, but he flashed a lot there at the end of the year. And having someone like Von Miller to take the pressure off of him, that could be really big for him. So yeah, that's a great team. That's a solid team. I mean, Kansas City I think got worse for sure.
Yep.
Bills got better. I mean, they definitely did.
Yeah, that'd be an awesome Super Bowl. That'd be such a good Super Bowl. Yeah. Beautiful. All right, let's shift gears. So, okay, so you guys told the story of it was either you or Josh shit your pants at the amusement park way back in the day. What do you got for another good story, a good short story from college, high school, childhood, whatever you want to say, talk about.
Oh man. Gosh. Well, I mean, I remember being a young lad and learning that you cannot put smoke bombs in mailboxes. That was probably like fifth or sixth grade Adam that did that.
Oh yeah, did
Um,
the fire department come? We definitely
oh
did.
yeah,
Yeah,
oh yeah.
same.
Police
Hmm.
came, gave us contact cards. That was cool. So that's what your parents want, your sixth grader getting contact cards. um, that was a good time. That happened. Let's see. We've done just dumb stuff, dude. I think about like back in high school, and it really does scare me, like having two boys. Like, bro, we did
Mm.
the dumbest shit. Like, in Kentucky, there's just tons of country roads. Like, and dude, we would be flying down those things. Like, I'm talking going like 70, 80, like just not thinking about anything. And thank God nothing happened. But boy, we got lucky. But you're young and you're reckless and you're stupid and yeah, I'm fortunate that we didn't get killed or in bigger trouble. I really didn't get in a lot of trouble like with the law. Like we had that little early bump in, but for the most part, like I've knock on wood stayed out of jail, um, all that stuff. Nothing, no bad marks on the record or anything like that. I got a few speeding tickets. Had a real problem with speeding for a while there. But that's about as bad as I've been on the record. So yeah, nothing's really coming to me as far as like juicy stories right now, Johnny. I apologize.
Yeah, that's okay. And we do have the which ride was that you filled your drawers with Dookie?
Okay,
On?
so that was it didn't actually happen. I just thought I did. So
Oh,
it
that's
was
right.
on it was Kings Island, and we had loaded up. We went to Olive Garden that morning for some reason for an early lunch. Went wild at Olive Garden, just loaded up full. First thing we did was go ride on this Son of the Beast, which is it's a wooden roller coaster with like the world's largest drop right out the gate. So, yeah, when we got on that roller coaster and we got to going on it and went down that first drop, I thought that I shit my pants. Like I felt them fill up and everything. You know, it's like a phantom like shit. Felt everything fill up. Was like, oh boy. Like couldn't enjoy the rest of the ride because I had no idea how I was gonna get off of it without shit falling out of my pants, my shorts. Was trying to like reach in there to see if like I could feel anything, you know what I mean? Like hoping my buddy, you know, and the cart next to me didn't look over and like, what the fuck is he doing? So, but luckily, didn't do it, didn't shit. So that was okay. That was fine. But yeah, definitely a scary moment that turned out good.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad it worked out for you. And I mean, you know, any red-blooded American that hasn't shit his pants in adulthood is not a real American in my book. So, you know, I'm sure we've all been there. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we'll be there many times going forward too. You know,
Lord willing.
That's I mean, that's exactly. I mean, that's what you have. You know, it's the second half. You can expect probably more shits than ever. I would say more. You know, pooping your pants than ever.
Yeah, something to look forward to. Yeah,
that's how you go out. You come in, shit in your pants. You go out, shit in your pants. It's a sad world we live in.
The circle of life. Yes.
It is kind of beautiful, though. It is kind of beautiful.
Oh man. So okay, movies, TV shows. Got a few of your favorites for each there.
So I'm not the biggest movie or TV show guy anymore. I don't have time for it. Like it's basically just NFL these days, and then you know, family time and golf. But my favorite movie of all time, I think it's got to be Dumb and Dumber. I just think it's the best, man. It's a classic. Like I'm a big, like, obviously comedy is more in my wheelhouse. So movies like that, Billy Madison, Happy Gilmore, like those are classics to me. Wet Hot American Summer is a good one if you haven't seen it. But yeah, I think Dumb and Dumber. I think Dumb and Dumber is the best comedy of all time.
Yeah, that's a solid comedy. That's for sure.
What's your favorite? Do you have a what's your favorite movie?
Oh man, I don't know. It's probably some normal dude answer, you know, Star Wars or Braveheart or something. You know, nothing interesting.
Gladiator.
Yeah, Gladiator. What we do in life echoes in eternity. So
those are great movies, though. I love those movies.
Yeah. No,
Scarface,
I mean, you know,
another classic. Oh, TV show wise, though.
Yeah. What are you watching?
Again, I haven't been watching. Not like lately. I Think You Should Leave. That's like the show that I'm most current on. It's on Netflix. Are you familiar with the show, Johnny?
Nope.
Oh, dude, you'd love it. It's just like a sketch comedy show. It's Andy Robinson, who used to be a writer on SNL, but it is weird as hell. It's
Like,
very much in the Tim and Eric vein.
I was just gonna say that Tim and Eric weird because that's my cup
It's
of tea right there.
it's exactly that weird. You will love this show, Johnny. So season 1 is fantastic. Season 2 was good, but yeah, enjoy that. That's probably my favorite show that I've seen in a while. Nathan For You is also another show that I was big into. I like just weird comedies, pretty much. That's always been kind of. I'm looking for stuff to make me laugh. You know,
Yeah,
I'm not looking for the serious stuff, really.
yeah, I hear you. And plenty of Debbie Downer stuff without that every day. Yep.
Sure,
So
we got the
if
news
you
for that.
this is true. This is true. So if you hit the lotto tomorrow, what would you do? Would you keep working? Would you retire? How would you play that?
No, I'm done working. That's a guarantee. Never again. Never again. I'm gonna play golf every single day. Take my family on as many trips as I can. Uh, but yeah, I'm gonna be a member somewhere. Um, and then I'm gonna be just traveling the world and yeah, seeing different things and hopefully playing different golf courses and yeah, man, that's the dream. I cannot wait to retire. Cannot wait.
I hear you. I hear you. Okay. How about this? I don't know if you're a big history guy or not. I'm guessing no, but that's okay. If you could time travel to see anything in history, what would it be and why? Could be anything, personal or big ticket item. You tell me.
Hmm. I'd probably go. Um, it'd be cool to like see like I don't know like LeBron's debut or something. I think it was like Cleveland versus Sacramento or something. I'd go back. I'd do something like that. Go see like
That
Michael Jordan in
y-
like the game 6 of the finals against Utah Jazz. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
right.
It
The
would be
shot. Or,
something like
yeah,
that. Yeah,
yeah. Or
I'd do
LeBron in
something like
high
that.
school. LeBron in high school would have been cool.
Dude, I remember watching those, man.
Yep.
Just all those high school games. Um, it's so cool that he lived up to the hype. You know, guy
Yeah.
really did it.
Right. Sometimes it doesn't pan out, and it totally panned out for him. Yeah.
Oh, there's tons of people like that didn't pan out for. Um, I'm trying to think. I'm blanking. It's been a while since I've been in the NBA world.
Yeah. No, I hear you. Yeah, that's a good answer though. I like that. Are you an aliens guy or a no aliens guy?
You know, I think there's probably something out there. I'm okay with just like not. I'm not going to be like a no, no way, no, not at all. Can never happen. Like, no, I think I'm pretty open about all that stuff. You know, I don't have the answers to all that stuff, but I mean, it's a humongous universe out there. Like, there probably is another form of life. Um, I kind of hope it never finds us. But yeah, I mean, I think that most people should be open to the idea that, yeah, there's likely a lot of shit out there we don't know. And that includes like life.
Yeah, definitely. I'm kind of hoping they probe me. Really looking forward to that.
That would be kind of cool. It would be kind of cool.
Okay, so favorite football memory.
Oh, dude. So I've been actually pretty fortunate with like some of the live experiences I've had at games. I've seen some really good ones, dude. Um, I went and saw, me and my wife took a trip that was a lot of fun to St. Louis when the Rams were still there. We saw St. Louis versus the Vikings. Adrian
Ooh.
Peterson, AP ran for 212 yards that game.
Oh my
Uh,
god.
Steven Jackson crossed over 10,000 career yards that game.
Ooh.
Um,
Was
that
that
was,
Mark Bulger years or
I think
it
it was. I think
must have
that
been.
was, I think it
Yeah.
was. Also, Danny Amendola was on the team. So that was the
Yeah.
game. You can find this out there, but that was the game. Danny Amendola, like he scored a touchdown and he spiked the ball, and the ball bounced up and hit the ref, the sideline judge right in the eye. Hit him right in the
Oh,
eye. It was like a elder ref, so he had to leave the game, go to the hospital. I don't remember the update on him, but anyway, that happened in that game.
Jesus.
We also I went to a Tennessee and Detroit Lions game
Mhm.
back when they had Megatron.
Ooh.
Um, that was the most fun game ever, dude. That game went into overtime. Um, I'll have to send you some because there's been like people have done like media members have talked about that game like the best game you've never heard about, like that type shit, you know. But I was at that game. It was really I went to it because of Calvin Johnson, of course. I wanted to see Megatron play. He ended up Matt Stafford played that game too, but he got hurt. Sean Hill had to come in. But Megatron had like over 100 yards, had a huge game. That was back when the Lions had Titus Young as well. Just a little throwback name there. Uh, remember him?
It rings a bell, but not really.
He was one of those guys that lost his mind, I think.
Oh yeah.
But so that was a cool game that I saw, and then I went and saw the Tennessee Titans and the Kansas City Chiefs probably
Yeah, that
like 2-3
was.
years ago.
I remember when you guys went to that because you put pictures up, and I was like, God damn, these guys went to the best game of the year. What the hell?
Dude, that game was so badass. It ended on like a block kick. And the video that like we were like on the 50-yard line, like 10 rows up, dude. Like had the best seats ever. Like I was filming that final block kick. Like the guy that did it, I think it was like Josh Kalu, the guy that had the block. He reached out to me on Twitter after I posted that video and asked if he could use the video. So the video went viral.
Wow.
But yeah, that
That's
was. I've picked them good, man. That's like I've only been to like five or six, maybe more than that. I've gone to a lot of Titans games, so they all kind of run together. But I've probably been to like no more than 10 NFL games. But man, I've picked like 3 all-time games. So I've been lucky in that regard. But yeah, those have been great experiences. I love getting to go to games. It is kind of a bummer though, as you know, you start getting into fantasy and stuff that you have to miss out on all the other
mm-hmm.
games and stuff.
Yep.
But
Yep.
I mean, I prefer to honestly just watch it at home. But it's like
Yeah.
a special occasion once a year. It's fun. But I don't think I could ever be one of those dudes that goes to like every game just because I would miss out on all the other games.
Yeah, I'm with you there, and yeah, so I mean, those are excellent in person. And then we mentioned earlier Minneapolis Miracle, Favre years. So for Vikings, you got some good stuff too. Yeah,
Yeah, of course, those were great. Also,
uh,
I remember going to a baseball game. I went and saw, I think it was the Reds and Cubs, but it was the Paul Wilson and Kyle Farnsworth brawl. Like one of the best. It was two pitchers, but one of the best brawls in baseball. I was there, so that was pretty cool.
nice. Yeah, you get some good luck with this stuff. That's awesome.
Yeah, I do.
How how about favorite non-football memory? I always get the same answers on these, but hit me. Non-football memory favorite.
It's got to be the birth of my kids. You know,
Mm-hmm.
that's I'll get in trouble if I don't say that.
Well, at least you admitted it. Everyone else, I'm like, well, you have to say that. No, it's
Yeah.
true.
It is true though, man. It is a wild experience doing that stuff, man, going through that whole thing. Yeah, it's hard to explain. But yeah, I mean that moment of relief when the baby is finally delivered. Um there's nothing like it, dude. It's one of those moments you never forget. And yeah, I'm glad that we're done with those as well. We'll never have another kid again. No more kids. We're done.
Nice, dude.
But
Yeah,
that's amazing.
hey,
It's amazing. It's a great time.
yeah, no, that's a
Scary,
great.
scary as hell.
That
That's the
Macri
thing, dude.
said that too. Yeah,
It's like 9 months of stress and worry, and then like it's just like that day just feels like you know all of it rolled into one. Um, but then when the baby gets here, man, it's just relief. It's just relief. It's a cool thing, and it's like a love that you can't explain. It's like a new worry you can't explain. Um, but yeah, it's good stuff.
yeah, that's awesome, man. What's something hard you've had to overcome, and what'd you learn from it?
Oh boy. Um, this is good. This is really good. I guess just worrying about what people think, that's always anytime you put yourself out there like we kind of do in, online setting, you just putting yourself out there in general, right? Basically anything you do on the internet. Just being able to just like not worry about the negative feedback, kind of blocking that. You're gonna have haters. Um, you're gonna have people that don't like you, and that's fine. You're not for everybody. We're not. I'm not doing this for certain people that don't like the show or whatever. But just stuff like that. Just like not letting things bother you. Just trying to stay in your own lane and do your own thing, and just keep your head down and just believe in the work you're doing. And just block it. It's easy to get caught up in all the noise and everything and all that stuff. Um, Also, I've stopped like dipping. I mean, that was hard as hell.
Mm.
I've never really had. Luckily, I've never really gotten into pills or anything like that I've had to quit. And drinking's never really been a huge issue for me. I'm just kind of like a casual drinker. But yeah, I mean, getting over nicotine was really annoying.
Oh, dude, it's worse than heroin on the short term withdrawals anyway. Yeah. Yep.
But what I learned, I mean, you can do anything. I mean, honestly, anything that you set out to do, or if you have a goal, if you just get your mind right, and just really want it, I think that's the biggest step is just preparing your mind and just be like, okay, I'm tired of whatever it is I'm doing with whatever this vice is. It kind of has a hold on me. I want to curb that. You just got to get your mind right and just commit to it. And yeah, going through stuff like that, and it does make it easier to face other obstacles.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Once you get over stuff like that, everything else is easy. Yep.
I've been pretty fortunate though. I mean, I haven't had a lot of things I've had to really overcome. Everything's been pretty cushy as far as the life goes.
Yeah, well, nothing wrong with that. Okay, so if this is a ZMAX special, if you were about to go out and you wanted to go out in a blaze of glory, do you have a catchphrase or any last words that you'd want to yell?
I think just, hey, watch this.
Yeah.
I think that would be a good way. Some good last words.
Okay, I like that. That's doable.
Hey, watch this, and then you go out in a blaze of glory, right? You pass on, but that's it's pretty legendary. Those are some pretty legendary last words.
I was thinking we were gonna get like one of those wacky voices out of you, but that's okay.
Sorry. Yeah, I haven't really done the voices. Much. So I apologize if people tune in for the voices. Some people hate the voices. We've gotten some really mean reviews.
Really?
Directed at me. Yes. So
wow.
But again, these critics, like, they don't have like a funny bone in their body.
Right.
Like, I'm not worried about it. Like, it's like, bro, you look like you've never made anyone ever laugh. Period. Like, you're not getting what we're doing. Like, I don't need any feedback people think they need to give us. Like, we're not looking for it. Like, we're not trying to sound like your typical show. It's just not what we're interested in. If you want that, there's literally trillions of those out there for you.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yep. Good stuff. All right, let's we're getting towards the end here. Let's get into the hot water. So favorite platform and why? We'll start there because everyone loves to argue about that shit. So let's start there.
Yeah, that shit's stupid, man. I don't like that at all. The MFL, the guys in their ivory towers that look down upon all the other leagues. I don't like that shit. I think every league's cool. I mean, I'm in MFL leagues. I'm in RSO leagues. I'm in a lot of sleeper leagues. I really, really, really like sleeper. If I had to pick, I'd probably go sleeper just because I know that and this may not be a popular answer, but I honestly kind of like the simplicity of it. The three positions, the DLs, the linebackers, the defensive backs. I like it, man. And the key is just making sure your rosters are deep. It's like if the rosters are deep, that takes care of all really problems that you have. Like, oh no, uh, no one drafts defensive tackles in sleeper. Just make it where you start 5 defensive linemen. Like,
Yep.
make it to where you have to draft those guys. It's not that hard, but yeah, I think sleeper is my favorite. I love just the how responsive they are, how engaged they are and wanting to make their product better. I mean, they're pumping in a ton of money into it. I mean, um, they're a great company. I like sleeper a lot, but obviously, I mean, RSO, that is the platform that houses my favorite league. So they hold a special place to our heart too. But it's like, if you're not familiar, it's very complex. RSO is a salary cap league. But yeah, sleeper number 1, RSO number 2. I've done ESPN, I've done Yahoo a long time ago. They're all good in their own way. I don't understand the people that are loyalty to a certain platform. That's just stupid. And
Yeah.
get over yourselves if you're that way. I mean, it's dumb.
Right. I've got at least 5 installed on my phone right now. It's a problem. What about all 22? Are you gonna try that?
Oh, of course. We are in a league together, my friend. This is a nice little setup there. I know what you're doing.
I know. Yep.
Yeah, but yeah, I am pumped to try that. The last step was finding a way to get offensive linemen in the mix, and we have done that now. So yeah, I mean that's going to be a lot of fun. That seems like it's going to be a really fun league. A lot of really smart people in it. But yeah, that's gonna be really cool, dude. Those guys are really smart guys. I mean, they're linking up with a great company in PFF. The feedback and the response they've already gotten is pretty insane. Like you never know how stuff like that will be received, but man, I feel like those guys have got to be happy with how things are going so far.
Oh yeah, dude. People are lighting up around the block to get into these things. It's wild.
Yeah, we have a promo code if anyone out there is listening. I think it's IDP show that gets you 40% off. So yeah, 40% off. That's
Yeah.
a big code.
Right. Yeah. Give it a try. Why not? And it's not actual fantasy football. We're just warm bodies and volume. It's about how good the player actually is, and it's an entirely different thought process. So we did the randomizer the other day. I ended up with the 101, and I was talking to you guys like. It was easy enough to figure out who you're going to take in a normal league. It's what, a running back or maybe one of those like 3 receivers that could blow up the
Yep.
game any week, and that's it. You're not taking a quarterback unless it's super flex 101. And here it has to be a quarterback because
Yep.
based on salary cap and their formula, that's who it has to be, and that makes sense for real life.
Yep. That's the way it should be. So yeah, I'm really excited to dive into that. Sucks that we have to be in a league with Macri, who works for PFF, but whatever. It'll feel better when we whip that ass.
Yeah, we're gonna stuff his butt.
Yes, sir.
So okay, when you're normally, normal IDP league, maybe like 11-11, what's your typical approach? Are you a fade linebacker guy, fade DL guy, linebackers first, DL first? Like, what's your typical approach, all things being even?
I'm typically just like a value guy, right? Like whoever's falling, like I'm not going to go into any draft with like a set. I'm doing things this way. I think that's just the biggest mistake someone can make is just having their mind made up. Like no, I mean you need to catch the value that falls in my opinion. I mean, I'm going to lean towards the defensive line edge type guys at the top of the draft. Um, but I'm not just going to keep hammering them. Like if I'm in a spot to get someone like Myles Garrett, Nick Bosa, TJ Watt, yes, I'm going to take them. But again, it's got to be like in the right round. Like it's got to be like, if we're talking like a combined draft with the offense and IDP, like I don't really want to take any IDPs before like the 7th, 8th round. And it's got to be one of those situations. Like I'm not taking a Jordan Brooks in round 8 or Foye Luakon. Like it's going to be like, it's either going to be like a Roquan, a Darius Leonard, a Bosa, Myles Garrett, TJ Watt, Micah Parsons. Like those are the candidates. If I can't get one of those guys, I'm just going to wait. But yeah, I'm not touching defensive back early anymore. I mean, why would you do that? Going to lean towards edge, but again, I'm going to let kind of what everyone else is doing determine what I'm doing. You know, I'm not going to be locked in on a strategy just because you miss out on value and stuff. Like you can't just be like, oh, I'm doing this. I set out to do this. Like, no, I mean, you got to take advantage of value that you get.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. I mean, I think we all do things subconsciously over and over again. We've seen that just with all the drafts we're in. Like, the defensive line starts coming off the board, and we all shit our pants and try and get a couple. And it's like that always happens. But I mean, that's only a small piece of the pie in the modern NFL, the modern fantasy experience. Like, last year was a 68% injury rate. Like, if you don't pay attention in season, the draft doesn't mean shit.
Yep, exactly right. Yeah, it's all about management, right? I mean, there's always going to be studs that pop up during the year off waivers that just put your. I mean, it's like you can find like linebacker ones on waivers, dude. It's where else can you do that? You can't do that in normal fantasy. Like that doesn't really happen much, But that happens like 12 times in IDP.
Yeah, right. Every year. Yep. It's wild. Yeah. Adds a whole other flavor.
So that's why I'm never going to overdraft anybody, right? Like I'm going to always just take the values that I get, and then I'll determine whatever weaknesses I have early on in the season, and I'll try and fix those the best way I can.
Right. And sure, if your league has a bye, it's nice to have that bye, but I can't tell you how many times I've just like snuck into playoffs and then murdered everyone and taken all their money. Like,
yep.
Ask Macri, he'll tell you. It doesn't matter how you get in, you just got to get in.
Exactly right. Just get in. And also, a lot of people say shit like, fantasy football is just luck. Like, no, it's not. Like, it's not just luck. Like, getting to the playoffs consistently year in and year out and across most of your leagues, that is not luck at all. You gotta know what you're doing to get there every year. Winning a championship, yeah, there's probably some luck involved with that. But like, if you're consistently getting to the playoffs, you're a good fantasy player. I hate those people that put out those excuse tweets like, "Oh, it's all luck. I don't care." Quit being a baby and just be better.
Yeah, no doubt. And part of that is it's more luck when you're in those baby ass leagues that are just like, start 8 dudes on offense in a DST with maybe a kicker if they're feeling frisky. When you really add all the crap we do, the luck goes out the window when you're starting like 24 guys a week.
Yep. And a lot of people that don't like it, I'd imagine, are like people that just don't give it a fair shake. They get their asses whipped, in year one, and they're just like, I don't like this. I'm done. Just take their ball and go home. You got to stick it out, dude. It's like anything. It's like anything that's good. Like when you start smoking cigarettes or dipping, like you're gonna feel like shit the first 10 times you do it. You're gonna feel awful. You're gonna maybe throw up, but just stick with it because you're gonna be looking cool as hell pretty soon.
I love that, man. And the like all this weird stuff we get into league wise, I feel like it makes us better across the board, right? Like because we're only other degenerate, crazy assholes are getting into these leagues in the first place. So they're going to be active. They know what they're doing. Steel sharpens steel. Thinking about things different makes you better. Like I like to get into as much weird shit as possible because it makes me better across the board.
Yeah, totally, man. I definitely agree with that. I mean, it's one of those deals like you hate playing in leagues with guys like yourself just because like it's just gonna be hard, dude. It's not easy. But again, like beating up on a bunch of people and like whipping people's asses in trades, like that's not fun to me anymore, really. Like that just doesn't interest me. Like I've been there, I've done that for a long time. Like I'm interested in like tightening up and getting as good as I can at this. And that's going to be if I'm drafting with some of the best people and playing with the best people.
Yeah, and winning those leagues, like that's the good
Means
stuff right
something.
there. Yeah, it
Yeah.
means something, right?
Yep.
Absolutely. Okay, last hot water topic. We touched on this a little bit earlier, but just in general, fantasy Twitter thoughts.
It sucks. I hate it.
Yeah.
It's the worst part of the gig. I mean, it really is. It's awful. Now I have made some great friends through it, dude. I've met like some people that are lifelong friends, like yourself. There's a lot of people that like I consider true friends now, so that's been really cool. Um, but the fantasy Twitter and the just the way people act about it, it's just kind of gross. It's a lot of just like you literally have to just kiss people's ass to get anywhere. Like even if you're doing great content, like people aren't going to shout you out. Like they just don't do it. Um, you've got to kiss their ass first, and you got to keep kissing their ass, and then they'll shout you out. And that's just how it is for a lot of people. Um, and I hate that, man. I just hate it. I hate how it's just very much like just like that's how business is really. It's just all about the connections you make and who can kiss ass and who can suck up to who and oh I'll scratch your back, you scratch my. That's that stuff, And it's like I just would love to see people just like really just give people their flowers, dude. Like if someone out there inspires you or if there's someone that made you laugh or whatever, just like let those people know because it's just a shame. Like you gotta play ball if you want to make it or rise quickly in this thing. You gotta play ball, and we kind of refuse to do that. I mean, we have our people that we look up to and we're friendly with them, but overall, like we're not gonna try and just add a bunch of names, add a bunch of big names to our lists that we want to work with and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, that's just not us. We're gonna always be who we are, and if you don't like it, that's totally cool. But I mean, I think what we got's a good thing, and so I don't know. I don't know. I just hate kind of how it is. I know you see that.
Oh, yeah. Come on. I'm with you. You know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
And I mean the retweet groups and everything you got to get involved with, and like it's nice and everything, but man, that stuff is just I hate that part of it. I really do. Like I'm glad that I found a group of people that I am in a retweet group, but they're like everyone in there is like a buddy of mine. It's not just one. We were in some retweet groups where it's like I had no idea who any of these guys were. Like they would never even like interact with me, communicate with me. You're like a new guy on the block. Like you're just kind of looking for some people to like reach out, and that like it doesn't happen. Like you have to do it. There's a way to do it. There's a way that all these other folks do it, and if you're not like them, you're like kind of like an outcast, and that's fine because truly, like I think like the fantasy industry is like one of the lamest industries there is.
mm-hmm.
It really is. There's
Yep.
not a lot of people doing a lot of interesting stuff. Like there's not a lot of like characters out there. It's all just boring and a bunch of nerd shit, right? It's a bunch of fucking who can put up the better stats and oh look at these yards per route run and just all this just shit, all this just stats that everyone can manipulate and paint in their favor and act like they're smarter than someone else. You know what I mean? It's just like it's just lame. It's just lame. Like I'm not there to like just get a bunch of. I'm not here just to get a bunch of numbers thrown at me all day, right? Like, can this dude play ball? Is he on a good offense? Like, what are we doing? What are we doing here,
Dude?
There's a lot of that stuff.
Oh, I know, man, and it's just so fucking dumb. Like, cause I've said this on here before, but it's like when you see the back end, like you guys have access to that, I have access to that. When you see the numbers and you see where they come from, it's not fucking Twitter, it's Google.
No.
Okay,
Yeah.
like so everyone's circle jerking each other for nothing. for 1% of your views, 1% of your clicks. It is the biggest fucking waste of time ever. It is so stupid.
And also, man, like it really is. And also like the numbers, like the follow back bullshit, like that people get involved in, like, and then they clean up the ratio. So like the easiest trick in the book, you just, whenever you get going out, you just start following a bunch of accounts, following a bunch of fantasy accounts. They're all going to follow you back. So people do this a lot starting out. So the ratios are going to look kind of out of whack at first, right? You're going to have 2,500 followers, and you're going to be following 3,500. So that looks bad. So what do? Well, we have to clean up the ratio to make it look like I have more followers versus people that I'm following. So that's just like, it's just like a gross little thing, right? So, and it's like so intentional and just like, ugh. Not that I haven't done it. Like I've done it too, but like at a certain point, I'm like, okay, this is just stupid for one. Like these are just fake numbers, and it's just kind of like it's just gross. Like it's just, you look back at like, you'll go through like people that are following you and like you see that you got unfollowed, and it's like, what the fuck? And it's always the same people. It's always the same people that suddenly have like, they get their big break, right? Always the same characters. It's the guys that, oh, now they have, now they signed with the website. So now they got to go through and unfollow a bunch of people. They got to look like they're a big deal. But it's just little things like that. That's just like, ugh, this is so gross. But it's just the way things are. But it's something you need to keep in mind. If you're impressed by someone's ratio, just know that it's probably just them following and getting the follow backs, and then they just went out and cleaned it up. That's all it is.
That's exactly what it is. I think Mike Woolard had the best advice on this so far, and it's you control your own timeline, which is true. We control the algorithm, right? So my timeline, especially right now, is just all shit posts. That's all it is. I see a tiny bit of fantasy. I'm okay with that. It's all ridiculous memes and shit posts, and I send them to you guys. It's all stuff that's not safe for work, and I love it. It's beautiful. I don't see anything stupid. Anything stupid has been muted, blacked, gone. It doesn't exist to me.
That's the way it should be. And I probably need to mute and block more. I've gotten better about that stuff lately, but yeah, there's a lot of just garbage to sift through that's not making anyone better, right? Like we got to see these dumb takes all day. Like these things are they're made for engagement. So I mean, you don't need a lot of this stuff filling up your brain. It's making you dumber. So yeah, you got to find what works for your timeline. And that's just, doing it for a while. Like there's a lot of stuff you just don't know starting out, but doing it for a while and kind of seeing how things work. It's a weird little industry. It's a cool little industry. I mean, again, I don't want to sound like I'm just like totally bashing everyone. I mean, I do, again, I have made a lot of cool connections. I've gotten to work and we've recorded with like people that I consider like heroes in this industry. But that's really all we wanted to do was just do something with those guys. I mean, it's never been our dream to like, I don't know, like be one of these other things that people are being out there. So, we just try to stay in our own lane and do our own thing and have fun and hope for the best. Hope that people enjoy it and aren't too mean to us.
Yeah, dude, they do. You guys are genuine. That's obvious. In a fantasy Twitter planet filled with fake fucking people, you guys are not, and that's obvious. And that's probably your biggest advantage, I'd say.
Yeah, I mean, and maybe people think that I don't know, maybe people have a impression that we are that or something. I don't know. But I mean, I feel like we've done a pretty good job of being not selling out and just kind of being ourselves. And we just want to make the show good, man. That's all we want to do. We want IDP to grow and we want to put out a good product. That's our main goal, and treat everyone with respect, outside of the mutants.
Yeah, fuck those guys. That's beautiful, buddy. So, all right, we'll wrap up with this. What do you guys got coming this season? What are you doing different? What are you adding? What's coming back this year?
Oh man, I mean, it's all going to still be kind of the same. We're just adding on to it. We're just trying to find ways to make things better. I mean, we've really upped the video production lately. I think if anyone out there is on the YouTubes, we have a channel now and it's growing, and um, it looks good. Like it looks really good. Like Josh has done a great job of making the show look like an actual show. Um, and so that's been a new aspect. Having the video side of things, being able to clip and post content more and stuff like that. That's been really cool. The music, I think I mentioned that earlier. We've added music and stuff to the episodes. So just little things like that, little details. We're always looking at details and just things like that. We're gonna have big guests. We do have something in the works that's gonna be pretty cool. That we will hopefully be announcing here pretty soon. But yeah, I mean, more of the same. I mean, we're going to give you 2 podcasts a week. We're going to do the standard, Big 3 show on Monday, and then we're going to do a week two preview, or a week preview for that week, previewing all the matchups and everything. Me and you, Johnny, will be doing that 4 times a year, I believe. I think we got like Macri and Josh. We got a bunch of guys on that stuff this year helping us out. So, yeah, I mean, we're just going to continue to try and we're going to try and find talent. I mean, we've that's been something that we've always been trying to do is identify up and comers and see if there's any way we can work with those fellas, or what we can do. You saw it with Evan. We're working with Jeff, our boy. Aaron does the doc with us. So I mean, we're trying to collaborate and give people opportunities, and just continue to grow, and that's really it.
Yeah, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right?
Yeah, I mean, we have a good thing that's working right now. I mean, that's a good way to put it. We don't need to really change too much. We just want to continue to make the details better,
Beautiful. Love that. Okay, so anything you want to plug or talk about, floor is yours here.
I don't think so. I think we've got pretty much everything covered. We did a IDP draft kit this year for, if you're a beginner, if you're a seasoned vet. We got tons of good stuff in there. Rankings, scheme talk, blurbs, vacated targets, vacated tackles, just tons of good stuff. Tons of smart people working on this thing. It's our first year doing it, so I mean, it's going to be something I think we do every year now, and so it look for that to get even better each year. But yeah, that's the main thing we've been working on this off season. Again, tune into our show. It's a weekly show. That's never going to change. That's it, man. That's us. That's what we got going on.
Beautiful. Okay, I'll get you out of here on this. Do you think that it's possible that most road rage is poop related?
Yeah, I'd say that makes a lot of sense. I know that I've certainly, been a very bad driver when the turtle's poking its head out. And also I'm like, if that happens, if you've got to go, yeah, I mean, listen, I'm a selfish person at that point. It's all about this situation and getting this thing out of me. Whatever happens,
That's a great answer. All right. Well, thank you everyone for listening. That was episode 13 with @Adam IDP of the IDP show. My friend, thank you for coming on. Sorry I kept you a little late, but once we get talking, it's always a good time. So I appreciate it.
Yeah, dude, that's how it goes with us. Thank you so much for having me again, Johnny. You know that you're one of my favorite people in this space. I will follow you to the end of the earth. I love you, my friend.
Love you too, buddy. Hey, everyone, have a great week. We'll see you next Monday, 7 a.m. Eastern Time. Until then, take care. Bye bye.